The colony is wrapping up efforts to prevent egrets from nesting in a neighborhood.
The city and residents there have been proactive, trying to keep them away, but the first nest has been built. The federally protected birds built more than 250 nests in front of 5 homes on Pemberton Lane in the colony last spring and summer and left a huge mess. Fox 4's Blake HANSON joining us from the colony tonight with more. Blake.
Yeah, Stephen Clarice, last year things got out of hand quickly. The city said that by the time it got involved, it was really too late. Those birds had already nested, meaning they were federally protected, and the city said there just wasn't much they could do at that point. This year, the city and residents got involved early before the birds started nesting, hoping to prevent a repeat.
And it's just real quiet, and the birds are singing, and the trees are beautiful.
Throughout the dense canopy that covers Pemberton Lane, an odd sort of decoration now dots the landscape.
We sit and wait and hope that it works.
Ron Lane is among the many neighbors who hung up what are called scare eye balloons. It's a known deterrent to prevent egrets, a type of federally protected bird, from nesting. The city handed them out to residents this year. It also set up a noise machine to scare the birds off and use other noisemakers too that sometimes caught neighbors off guard.
I had just awakened when I heard that shot go off, and I thought, oh, who is doing what?
It is all to prevent a swarm of egrets, a nightmare situation for neighbors last year. The droppings and smell at times sickening.
It was really a very horrific situation for our residents to deal with, but it was also bad for the birds too, to be in that position.
Pam Nelson is the colony's point person for the egret problems. The city has been patrolling the neighborhood for weeks now and removing nesting materials. But this week, crews found an egg in this nest. It means the preventative efforts in the area must stop.
It seems that we were pretty successful in keeping a high density of the scout birds from nesting in one particular area. So what we don't know yet is how successful that will be in terms of how many of the egrets come back to this area.
Neighbors like Lane are thankful the city did what it could to ward the egrets off.
I think the city is doing an excellent job trying to alleviate the problem from returning.
Now all they can do is wait to see what nature sends their way.
It's nature. I mean, they picked this street for some reason, and we have to bear with it, I guess.
So the city mentioned the term scout bird. Well, those are actually night herons. They typically show up before the cattle egrets show up in the same area. That's what they've seen a lot of so far, those night herons. The city is ultimately hoping that by pushing the birds, the egrets, out of neighborhoods, they will find better places, not just for the residents here, but also for the birds to live in.